Good morning to one and all. So today our topic is the safety features in our vehicles, four-wheelers or two-wheelers. So primarily we are having the safety features like air-lock brakes, traction control, and side mirrors, whereas airbags. So these are all the different safety features available in our vehicles. So airbags and these side mirrors are comes under the secondary safety, whereas the primary safety features is anti-lock brake and traction control and electronic stability control. So these are the and collision of warning systems and some more things maybe in our primary safety features. But all these things may be available in our four-wheeler or two-wheeler vehicles. So right. So let us move into our topic. So coming to the history, automobile safety may have become an issue almost from the beginning of mechanized road vehicle development. So the second one is steam-powered artillery tractor created by Nicholas Joseph in 1771. So this is about the history. In 1922, on screen we have been shared the first car to have the four-wheel hydraulic brake. In 1930, safety glass becomes standard on all Ford cars. In 1930s, plastic surgeon like Claire L. Strait and physician C.J. Strickland advocated the use of seat belts and padded dashboards. So Strickland founded the Automobile Safety League of America. So in 1934, GM performed the first barrier crash test. So in 1936, the Hudson came with the first backup brake system. In 1937, Chrysler. So these are all the different orders which has been added such items as a flat, smooth dash with recessed controls and a rounded door handle. So a windshield wiper control made of rubber. Already we have been seen in our four-wheelers. And the back of the front seat heavily padded to provide protection for rear passengers. So in 1942, who published the classic mechanical analysis of survival in falls from heights of 50 to 150 feet. So in 1947, the American Tucker was built with the world's first padded dashboard. It also came with middle headlight, the turn with the steering wheel, a front wheel bulkhead, and a front safety chamber. So in 1949. So this is all about the history. Before the safety, at presently we are using different primary and secondary safety features in our vehicles. So these are all the basics. These are all the basic starting points of the safety measures has been taken into our present situation. So right. So in 1948, Chrysler Crown Imperial was the first car to come with standard disc brake. So in 1955, an US Surgeon General wrote an article, how to make cars safer for those riding in it. Aside from the usual safety features such as seat belts and padded dashboards, bumper shocks were introduced. So in 1956, Ford tried unsuccessfully to interest Americans in purchasing safety cars with their lifeguard safety package. So in 1958, The United Nations established the World Forum for Vehicle Regulations, an international standards body advancing auto safety. So many of the life-saving safety innovations like seat belts and roll cage construction were brought to market under its auspices. So that same year, Volvo engineer Nils Bohlin invented a patented the 3-point lap and shoulder seat belt, which became standard equipment on all Volvo cars in 1959. Over the next several decades, 3-point safety belts were gradually mandated in all vehicles by regulators throughout the industrialized world. So in 1958, Saab were first introduced the seat belts as standard. In 1959, American Motors Corporation offered the first optional headrest of the front seat. So effective on new passenger cars sold in the United States after Jan 1st, 1964, front outboard lap belts were required for 1966, 1967. So in this way, the total 1968, 78, 79, and up to 2009. So these are all the different things we are following. So coming to the active and passive safety, the terms active and passive are simple but important terms in the world of automotive safety. Active safety is used to refer to technology assisting in the prevention of a crash, and passive safety to components of the vehicle to help to protect the occupants during a crash. So to avoid the crash, many systems and devices help the driver and increasingly help the vehicles itself to avoid a collision. So this is the main thing. The vehicles, this category includes the vehicle's headlamps, reflectors, and other lights and signals. So the vehicle mirrors and the vehicle brakes, steering, and suspension system. So these are all the things we are providing to our car, to our vehicles to avoid the crash. To avoid the crash. So what is the driver assistance? So a subset of crash avoidance is driver assistance systems, which helps the driver to detect obstacles and to control the vehicle. Driver assistance systems include DADS, DADS. That means driver alertness detection system. Driver alertness detection system. So all of you just keep in your mind DADS. What is the abbreviation of the DADS in our driver assistance system? So this may be asked in our maybe either in a GATE exams or whatever else maybe. So to prevent, what is the main purpose? It is to prevent accidents caused by the fatigue and automatic braking systems to prevent or reduce the severity of collision, and infrared right vision system to increase seeing distance beyond headlamp range, and an adaptive headlamp controls the direction and range of the headlight beams to light the driver's way through curves and maximize seeing distance without partially blinding other drivers, and the reverse backup sensors which alerts driver to difficult to see objects in the path when reversing, and a backup camera is also available in our present vehicles, and adaptive cruise control which maintains a safe distance from the vehicle in front, and lane departure warning system to alert the driver of an unintended departure from the intended lane of travel. Tire pressure monitoring systems. Tire pressure monitoring systems is the thing presently available in our present four-wheelers, or deflection detection systems and the traction control systems which restore traction if driven wheels begin to spin, and electronic stability control which intervenes to avert an impending loss of control, and anti-lock braking system. So this is one of the primary safety. I have been already at our starting class. I have been given you a message like that anti-lock braking system is a primary safety features of our vehicle, and electronic brake force distribution systems, emergency brake assistance systems, concerning brake control systems, pre-crash system, automated parking system, obstacle detection sensor systems notify a driver how close their vehicle is to an object, usually providing a distance measurement to the inch as to how close they are. So this is the obstacle detection system. So coming to this vehicle color, so here car color and safety stated that no previous studies and have been scientifically conclusive. So I have been shared this one. Why? Because this is also one of the things, I think this is one of the things some people the study this maybe with a light condition, right? So so a Swedish study, here also you can observe a Swedish study found that pink cars are involved in the fewest and black cars are involved in the most crashes. You can observe this one. Black cars are involved in the most crashes, right? So in the Auckland, New Zealand, a study found that there was a significantly lower rate of serious injury in silver cars, with high rates in brown, black, and green cars. So the vehicle color study conducted by Monash University Accident Research Center, MUARC, is published in 2007. An article has been published, analyzed 855 to 58, 8,55,000 to 58 accidents occurred between 1987 to 2004 in the Australian states of Victoria and Western Australia that results in injury or in a vehicle being towed away. So the study analyzed risk by lighting condition. So it was found that in daylight, black cars are 12% more likely than white to be involved in an accident, followed by gray colors at 11%, silver cars at 10%, and the red and blue cars at 7%, with no color cars found to be significantly more or less risky than white. As dawn or dusky, the risk ratio for black cars jumped to 47%, more likely than white, and that for silver cars to 15%. So in the hours of darkness, only red and silver cars are found to be significantly more risky than white, so by 10% and 8% respectively. So in this way, the cost is also increased for the risk operation. So by studying this article, we observed the black cars will having a high risk factor that may be 47%. You can observe here. So that may be the 47% as compared to the white, whereas the silver cars is to 15%. So you have to recognize the point. So coming to this, so lights and reflectors. Vehicles are equipped with a variety of lights. Vehicles are equipped with a variety of lights and reflectors to mark their presence, position, width, length, and direction of travel, as well as to convey the driver's intent and actions to other drivers. So these include the vehicle's headlamps, front and rear position lamps, side marker lights and reflectors, turn signals, and stop lamps. Stop lamp means brake lamps. You can observe there, and reversing lamps. school buses and semi-trucks in North America are required to bear retro-reflective strips outlining their side and rear perimeters for greater conspicuity at night. So daytime running lamps have been required in Nordic countries since the mid 1970s, in Canada since 1990, and throughout the European Union since 7th February 2011. So this is the thing. And coming to the issues, why the safety measures, safety features must be required for every four-wheeler. So these are the main issues for particular demographic. So coming to the infants and children. So children present significant challenges in engineering and producing safe vehicles. Those are the people you people are producing safe vehicles, because most children are significantly smaller and lighter than most adults. So safety vehicles and systems designed and optimized to protect adults, and particularly calibration sensitive devices are like airbags and active seat belts can be ineffective or hazardous to children. So in recognition of this, many medical professionals and jurisdictions recommend or require that children under a particular age, height and weight in a child seat or in the back seat may be applicable. So in Sweden, for instance, a child or an adult shorter than 140 centimeters is legally forbidden to ride in a place with an active airbag in front of it. So what is this airbag? So this is one of the secondary safety features presently available in our four-wheeler vehicles. So airbags means whose placement can range from only in the dashboard. Airbags, where it was located, whose placement can range from only in the dashboard to the knee well. So the door pillar. So that means the door pillar. So curtain airbags. So that means curtain airbags means an airbag that inflates and covers the side windows. It will help to reduce the injuries in rollover and side impact crashes if they stay inflated for a slightly longer time than normal. So that is about the airbag. And one more thing is seat belt. What is the seat belt? Seat belt will stop the people being thrown out of a crashed vehicle and from hitting some parts of the interior when they are thrown forward. So this is the main thing that must be available in every four-wheeler vehicle. Right. So child safety locks and driver controlled power window lockouts prevents children from opening doors and windows from inside the vehicle. So infants left in cars. Coming to the infants left in the cars. So these are all the different situations what we have to be faced in our practically in our vehicles. So very young children can perish from heat or cold if left unattended in a parked car. So this is very common thing. So whether deliberately or through absent-mindedness, so in 2004, NHTSA estimated 25 fatalities per year among children left in hard cars. So that is one of the reason. And one more thing is this is the pregnant woman. When the pregnant woman should continue to use seat belts and airbags properly. A University of Michigan study found that an unrestrained or improperly restrained woman are 5.7 times are more likely to have an adverse fatal outcome than properly restrained women. So if seat belts are not long enough, extensions are available from the car manufacturer or an aftermarket supplier. So right. So coming to the safety devices, here this is the airbags. So in this airbags also we are having a dual stage front airbag and intelligent system. So this is the airbag. Generally this is the right. So this is the window bag. So this is the curtain bag, curtain airbag. So right. So this is the airbag. So some people think that these are actually dangerous, but they have infant saved many lives. There are two main types of airbags: dual stage airbags and side airbags. If needed, the dual stage airbags will go off at different times. One in a minor accident, and both in a more serious crash. So side airbags helps to prevent drivers and passengers from getting head injuries. Some children should be in their car seats in the back seat of your vehicle, where there are no airbags that can actually injure them rather than save their lives. So dual stage front airbag. So this one is the vehicle is equipped with adaptive dual stage front airbag. The front airbag is initially inflated with sufficient gas to reduce the risk of injury when a certain deployment threshold is reached based on further evaluation of the impact severity by the electronic control unit within a few milliseconds. So the front airbag is implanted with the full quantity of gas. So right, so this is the airbag system where it was provided. So coming to the intelligent system, so the driver's front airbag is installed in the steering wheel housing, whereas the front passenger airbag is housed above the gloves compartment. So upon deployment, a front airbag has the function to eliminate or to reduce the risk of contact between the driver's head and chest and the steering wheel, or the front passenger's head and chest and the dashboard. So the airbags which are installed in the position deployed in the respective sections. So how the work of a side bag? Coming to this, in case of deployment, a side bag has a function to increase the protection potential of the thorax of the occupant sitting in the side of the vehicle, sustaining an impact which generates a high rate of lateral vehicle acceleration and acceleration over a significant period of time. So the airbags, this is all go to the airbag system, that is the safety measures. The side bag in the area of door below the side window directly next to the affected the seat. So the basic principles for the evaluation of the necessity of the side bag deployment are similar to those of the deployment of the front airbag in the event of the frontal collision. So however, the accident situation must be earlier in the event of the side impact collision, as the distance between the occupant and the object involved in the collision is much smaller in the side collision than in the frontal collision. So during the collision with high lateral deceleration and acceleration tends to over a significant period of time in an early phase of an impact. So this is about the work. So this is the window bags. So window bags is an option or standard typically in the sedans or coupes that which have the function to increase the head protection potential for the occupant sitting on the side of the vehicle and receiving the impact. Upon deployment, the window bag enfolds in the area of the side windows. So in general, on the sides of the vehicle receiving the impact generally in the event of the rollover. So this is the effective cooperation of airbags. Airbags can do a lot, but not everything. So the airbag increases the total protection for a vehicle occupant properly wearing a seat belt. However, even if the vehicle is equipped with airbag, occupants must still fasten their seat belts properly before every trip. So the vibration sensor, which is connected in the circuit of airbag deployed, gives the signal to the airbag circuit for their action. On the other hand, the front airbag is only deployed in event of an accident. In the protection potential offered by the seatbelt needs to be supplemented. The seat belt helps to keep the occupant in a more favorable position to the airbag. So coming to the XDS classes, when you consider safety and security, whether a building, vehicle, or even houses, glasses is considered to be the weakest part compared with other materials. The advantage with the new technology is XDS glasses. It will help you to strengthen your existing one by as much as 400%, then keeps it intact in the frame, even if the impact or force is strong enough to break it. The system is in two parts. First comes super tough mylar polyester, which is made up of mylar polyester with a scratch resistance coating. There is also a specially formulated proprietary high temperature acrylic adhesive, which when applied to the glass actually penetrates the glass pores, get absorbed and hardened, with the turn strengthen the glass. So the outcome is very simple. So the normal glass now becomes so strong it repels the object hurled on it. These include the brick and bombs. So if the car is met with an accident, it reduces the injuries from flying gases by over 80%. So the XDS glass holds up to 95% of the fragment together, preventing injury from scattered glass. So this is about the total protection against either heat, UV radiation, and it keeps to up to 80% of the heat from sunlight. So it absorbs almost 100% of harmful UV rays, preventing long-term fading of interior of the automobile. So one more thing here is anti-lock brakes. When was used these anti-lock brake means when a crash happens, the driver often brakes suddenly and forcefully. This can cause the brakes to lock and skidding to occur. So this is the main thing, right? If a driver whose vehicle does not have anti-lock brakes needs to stop quickly, they need to pump the brakes, therefore to stop the wheels locking and prevent the vehicle skidding. So anti-lock brakes are mainly designed to stop this happening, as they carry out the pumping action instead of the driver, right? So one more thing is here is seat belt reminders. These are very simple safety feature designed to remind the people in the vehicle to put on their seat belt. So this is one of the latest safety feature available in our car. So they can vary from being a reminding symbol that lights up to being an audible tone, different things. Some cars has reminding symbol, some is having lights up, some is having audible tone. This continues until the person in the vehicle has to put on their seat belt. So this is one of the thing. And one more thing is head protection. This is with the soft material which is available at the headrest and the vehicle side pillar. So it is where possible with the softer material that will absorb the impact of the person head is used in places where it could impact with the interior of the vehicle during a crash. So one more thing we are having before knowing about the automatic emergency cell. We are having the adjustable mirrors where it was. These are all located at the driver monitor, where it will help the driver monitor. It will be available at our top of the cabinet. So what is happening, and made it safer to change lanes if they are correctly adjusted. And one more safety control is traction control. So it is also, the traction control is also used to stop the vehicles spinning or slipping. If the driver applies too much power. So that is one of the traction control, right? And electronic stability control, this is one of the primary safety feature. So it works along the side anti-lock brakes and is designed to help the driver keep control of the vehicle. That is usually in emergency situations to stop it spinning out of control. It does this by selectively braking individual wheels and reducing the engine torque to bring the vehicle back on course. So in case it has been found to be very effective in reducing deaths and will be compulsory in the new vehicles in some countries in the near future. So coming to this is the automatic emergency cell e-call. Emergency call. So e-call and a system that alerts emergency services. That is a third party service provided if a severe crash occurs. So the e-call initiative aims to what is the main initiative? To deploy a device installed in all vehicles that will automatically dial 112 in the event of serious road accident. So this is one of the automatic emergency call, and wirelessly send airbag deployment and impact sensor information, as well as the GPS coordinates to local emergency agencies. So the e-call builds on E112. According to some estimates, e-call could speed emergency response times by 40% in urban areas and 50% in the rural areas. Rural areas where the situations in the car occupant. So that means the crash happened. So if developed a stage of airbags could then become an integral part of the system, deploying before impact in several slower stages and with a greater volume of air in order to protect the occupants for a longer period of time. So another priority of the airbags is tomorrow is to provide even more personalized protection. For example, it should be possible to program on board computer with information such as the age and the biometric data of the occupants in order to tailor the protection system to individual requirements. So this is the final conclusion. So that means the recent manufacturers shows keen interest in the safety and pleasure riding. So the seat belts and airbags, which are now more important attachment of the car, must be utilized fully for safer riding. For the weakest and the most hazardous part, the glasses in the car, are now made to add safety with the advanced technology. If this condition persists, the safety factor in cars, which will reach a pioneer position with this kind of improved technology, will play way for usage of large number of passenger cars. So this is all about the present safety features what we have been taken into account. So today the session has been closed. Thank you.